Hey guys, welcome to the I don't know yet how many hours marathon, because I just received Imagine Me. I think, I'm not sure yet, but I hope it is. I don't know how to open it. There we go. Okay. Oh, I think it's my book. Yes! Oh, yes. Oh, it's so beautiful. I love it so much. God, it looks amazing. Oh, wow. It looks so good. Oh my god. It looks so good. I want to read it right now, but I can't because I have homework to do because I'm still doing online school, which is fun. Oh, wow. Oh my god. This is gold. It is golden. I don't know if it's even possible for you guys to see it, but oh, wow. I'm so excited. And it's all white. I don't know why, but I'm excited that it's all white. I'm really scared to just put dirt on it, but let me see if Define Me actually fits. Because I have, the only other book I have in hardcover is Define Me, because I bought it at the same time. Oh wow, I forgot about it. Oh, they look so good. They look so good together. I cannot believe this. Oh, the colors are so cool. I'm in heaven. I cannot believe this. It's bigger than Define Me, which is really nice because it's the end and I'm really emotional about it. I want it to be a great ending, and from what I've read so far on Goodreads, which I haven't done too much because I don't want to be spoiled, it has a great ending. People are really happy about it, so I'm really excited to see what's going to happen, and I will most likely read this tonight, and I will try to read it as fast as possible because I want to know what happens, and also I want to make a great review for you guys if you are interested in reading this series. Actually, if you haven't read any Shatter Me book, well, do it. I will catch up with you guys when I will have read some more. Well, I will have started actually this book. Yeah.
"12 seconds later."
Well, this is sadly anticlimactic. I'm really sorry, but I finished reading the book. I read it in one sitting. I wasn't expecting myself to read it in one sitting. I started reading the book around 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I finished it at 7. So yeah, one sitting. I read it so fast. I loved it. I loved it so much. I hated it and I loved it at the same time. So there are pretty mixed feelings about this book, but in overall I loved it. I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars, and no doubt. I'm going to take a break just for now. I haven't written down my complete review for this book, so I will probably do that tomorrow, and I will make a review, so stay tuned because the review will be just after this clip. But yeah. So now it is time for the review of Imagine Me by Tahereh Mafi. I'm going to try my best to do a synopsis and a small review of the book without spoiling anything, but it will be very small because I don't know how to do that because there are way too many things I want to talk about, and yeah. First of all, this is the 6th book in the Shatter Me series, so a lot of things have happened, and I'm assuming that you have read all the 5 other books, including the 2 novellas, well, 4 novellas, but the 2 binding novellas, anyways, from the Shatter Me series. So I will be talking about this book while spoiling all the other books, so just be aware of that first. This book picks up at the ending of Shadow Me. Is it what it's called? Reveal Me, I believe. The last book after Define Me. And so at the end of Reveal Me, this is from Kenji's point of view, and he finds Juliet and Warner crouched down on the ground, and Juliet is screaming her head off, and we don't know why. This book is minutes or seconds before that happens, and we are from Juliet's point of view. I will be calling her Juliet for the entire video because I don't want to just switch back and forth, so it will be Juliet. And in this book, we get only Juliet and Kenji's point of view. And as you've seen in my little clip, I was not okay with that. I thought that we would get Warner's point of view, and we did not. And I was like, excuse me. But it was fine. I survived, I guess. So in this book, we are up to the whole group, well, the whole group. What is left of the group from Omega Point is now at the sanctuary in Africa, I believe, somewhere. I don't remember where, but it's somewhere in Africa, I believe. And they are with Castle's daughter, Nuria. They've been having this sanctuary for a very long time, and most of them, I believe, are refugees and people with powers. So Nuria, I don't remember her power, but Sam has like a super long enhanced vision, so she can see like miles ahead and like across an ocean, so it's a huge deal. Nuria's power. I don't think she has any power. I don't remember. Anyways, we learn that Anderson is still alive thanks to Kenji's point of view. We learn about Juliet's past. Well, we learned it a little bit about more in Restore Me, but we learned it like completely in Defy Me, where she was created to just be the follower into Emmeline's path, basically, when Emmeline's body would just crumble into tiredness, I would say. And so Juliet was just the body replacement for that brain, kind of. And so with all of that, when they left Oceania in the last book, Emmeline put all of the memories into people's brains, all the Supreme kids, because there were so many memories that were taken away from them, and especially Juliet, so Emmeline gave all of the memories back. And so in the beginning of the book, we see Juliet struggling with all of the memories because she just doesn't know who she is anymore, and she doesn't understand half of the memories she has because they're all over the place. They're not in chronological order, so it's really hard for her to understand where they're coming from, at what age she was when she had that memory, so it's a huge deal. I'm trying to think of words to describe this book without spoiling anything. It's really hard. Warner was sad. No, he wasn't sad, but he was just so heartbroken throughout the whole book. And so it was really hard to... No, I loved him anyways, but it was hard to follow his path and to understand his actions most of the time. Obviously, I loved Kenji's point of view. He's always hilarious. He makes a lot of jokes, even when it's totally inappropriate, and it's always funny. And in those really, really dark situations, he just puts a smile on my face and on some of the people's faces, so it's really funny. He has a very weird relationship with Warner, and they don't try to be friends because they gave up on that in the last book, but Kenji still respects Warner for who he is, for who he is, and because he loves Juliet so much, and that in the past Kenji didn't believe that he loved her that much. So it's a huge thing that the relationship is weird, I would say, but they get to develop that in this book, and that was really, really interesting. In the beginning of the book, we understand that the other Supreme kids have been kidnapped, and including Adam and James. And so the main issue here is to save them and protect Juliet from Anderson and all of these Supreme commanders, because they still want to chase after her to have her body to transfer Emmeline's brain into. So it's a huge deal. It's complicated. With nobody's surprise, I give this book 5 out of 5 stars. I read this book in 6 hours. So I think it says a lot just with the amount of time that I read the book. So yeah, as I said in my last clip, I really was disappointed because I did not film anything, because I really thought I would have time to film myself reading in my bed at night, but that did not happen because I read it so fast and I was just so committed to the story. So yeah, this is going to be well, it was kind of long, I guess. 5 minutes is fine, but I'm going to jump into the spoilery version of my review because I want to talk into depth into every single, not every single scene, but every single aspect that happened in the book, and I want to give my opinion on what I thought about it and how I felt when it happened. And yeah, so I don't know how to make this review without spoiling anything, so I'm really sorry if you haven't read the book, but like, go read it. And if you haven't read the book and you've read the other 5 books, like, I don't think I even need to convince you to read a 6th book because you are committed. You've read 5 books, so like, just go and read the 5th one. It's easy. First of all, I want to talk about Juliet because I hated her situation throughout the entire book. Whenever her POV would come up, I would be like, no, I don't want to read about this because it's awful. I don't want to know what happens to her because it's awful. I don't like her situation and she doesn't remember anything. So it was just, I hated it, okay? I just hated that part, and it would come up so many times. Her exchanges with Anderson were just so weird, awkward. I did not like them at all. It was I didn't like that. I was so scared that he would just take advantage of her, and I was like, if that comes up, I'm not reading it. I'm like moving away because I cannot deal with this. Fortunately, he was so disgusted by the fact that she was attracted to him that he never thought about it. So it was a relief, honestly. Her strength throughout all of the book, well, not in the middle where she doesn't remember anything, but like beginning and end were just, it was so beautiful. And she tries so much to be better, not better, no, not better, but to just be the best version of herself. And I just loved it so much. And she didn't want to kill her sister because she wanted to live with her, to be with her, but at the end she understood that she just couldn't, and that if she didn't kill her, well, she would kill herself anyways, but that all of these Supreme Commanders would just keep running after them forever. I want to quickly talk about Emmeline because we don't get to know her a lot, but we understand easily her pain and what she's been through, and it's completely horrible, and it's so easy to understand why she wants to kill herself. But the way she tries to do it is completely insane for me, because she tries to get, well, she does get inside Juliet's mind, but while she does that, she like creates shitstorm everywhere. I don't know how to explain that, but like everything is falling apart, like the sky is not doing so well, the ground is breaking, stuff is happening, there are dead birds around, so I do not understand why she chose to do that to Juliet. She thought that Juliet could kill her with her mind, which is not something that she could do, and so it was just weird to make her go through that pain and not being able to die, so I did not understand that part. Warner, so okay, now I'm going to talk about it because it's spoilery time. He was sad as hell, yes, of course, but he was just so committed to finding her and to protect her at all costs, and it was so brave because, oh my gosh, I need to talk about this, but I'm going to talk about it chronologically because, or else I'm going to lose myself in my thoughts. Honestly, I would react the same way he did throughout the entire book, I believe, if something like that happened to my boyfriend. If he was going through something like that and he was kidnapped and I didn't know where he was, knowing that I could lose him forever to his brother's brain, let's say, I don't know what I would do, but I would certainly not stay around and wait for something to happen. I would
jump on the next plane and do something about it. So I totally understood why he did what he did and how much he wanted to save her from all of this. And as I said, it's sad that we don't get his point of view, but with his trauma and how he's been acting throughout all of the book, it would be weird to have his point of view, I think, because it would be just a rambling of thoughts and incoherent thinking, I think. Okay, chronological events. So, Emmeline gets inside Juliet's head. The whole scene was weird, and when we get inside Kenji's point of view, and he realizes that he's been digging a grave to kill himself because Emmeline thought that if he killed himself, he would kill her at the same time. What the hell? I thought that she could just get into one person's head, but obviously she was in multiple heads at the same time because she was in Juliet's. I don't know if she was in Warner's head. He didn't say if she was, but he was in pain, so I'm not sure if he was just trying to absorb her energy, whole thing. But when he realizes that he's been digging a grave, I'm like, oh my god, this is intense. And that is why I kind of did not like Emmeline at first, because I was like, what are you doing? You are trying to kill many people at the same time for killing yourself, and it's not working. Like, realize it and just leave. I don't know. Next scene, Juliet is in a coma and you don't know when she's going to wake up. Warner is in great pain, we'll say it. And he makes everybody cries, apparently, and that's really funny because I just feel like if you don't want to be harshly answered, don't talk to him. That's how I feel. Just the fact that Nuria suggests to kill her right now while she's in a coma, I was like, well, do you even know what's going on? You don't even know what's going on. Maybe she tried to get inside Juliet's head and she left. Nobody knows. Maybe she'll wake up and she'll be Emmeline, but maybe she won't try to kill anyone. Who knows? Nobody knows. So like, shut up. When Juliet wakes up and she says something from the past to Warner, and his face was so heartbreaking because he realizes that she's not in her right mind and that she's mixing up past and present and, well, not future, but like she's mixing up pieces of her past and she doesn't know where she is in time, and that's so heartbreaking. And when you get her point of view, everything is mixed up. You have so many scenes from so many different books in the same place, and she doesn't think that they are separated in time. So it was so crazy. One of the sad part, which is coming up, is that like 10 seconds after she wakes up, Anderson shows up, and I'm like, give her a break. Like, give her like 20 minutes. Like, don't give her a week, like a day or like an hour to just recover from what's happening. She's been awake for like 20 seconds. She's out of her mind. She doesn't know where she is. She doesn't know where in time she is. And you show up like, can you be more annoying, please? So the scene where Warner fights all of these soldiers with a machete, excuse me, that was so funny because it was from Kenji's point of view, obviously, and Castle's face is hilarious because he never thought that he was, I don't know, evil, cruel, killing people, even though that's what he says all the time. Like, I'm not a good guy, I kill people and I don't care. And Castle's just like, oh, it's okay. No, you can be a good person. And we're all like, yes, but it doesn't undo what he's done in the past. Castle is really funny, and I just thought that he's a blind to many things, and especially Warner's skills, behavior, I don't know, history. And so when they just watch him kill all the soldiers, and they're all like, oh shit, he can do things like that. And in my head, I'm just like, of course he can do that. Like, have you not been listening to him for the past 3 books? Anderson is well, first of all, mean. It was so satisfying to see him get so frustrated because Warner did not want to fight him and he was just dodging his attacks. Oh god, that was so long to know that word. And it was for a moment satisfying to see him really struggle with the fact that he did not want to fight his father. I don't understand why Warner proposed himself to be the body to replace Juliet, because he asked for her protection and everybody else's protection if he goes with him. And I'm like, well, can't you see that he's not going to follow that? He's going to take your body, take Juliet, and kill you. I don't know, something like that. But like, don't propose deals to him, because it's obvious that he's not going to follow them. Even if he gives you his word, I would not trust that at all. So I don't know why he proposed. Maybe he was very desperate, obviously, but maybe he was trying to just gain time. I don't really know. I thought it was a reckless decision, and not really, he did not think it all through when he proposed that. But anyways, Anderson refused, so it doesn't matter. Anderson's instinct to kill Kenji, well, to shoot Kenji and Nazira was right, in a way that he thought that they were making Juliet invisible somewhere. So if they were shot, their invisibility would, well, their power would not be working anymore, because it would be so concentrated on their wound. So it was a intelligent shot, but at the same time they hit Juliet so far away that I don't think it would have been that. And that Juliet is taken, and nobody knows how. Well, you get to know why after, but then you jump right into Juliet's point of view, and at first I thought it was a dream. I thought it was a memory. But then they started talking about real life stuff, like, you shot my daughter, and like, who's your daughter? Nazira. And I'm like, oh no, it's real. It's happening. Like, it's real time real. And I thought it wasn't, and I was so disappointed because she was taken and nobody knows how. So yeah. Now Juliet thinks that she's a supreme soldier for the Commander Supreme of North America, which is, I hated that, and I will say it right there. I hated all of the parts where she thought she was a soldier, because that's what she was created for, and that's what she was doing. So it was very frustrating for an objective reader to read that and just not be like, it's not who you are. Wake up. When we get back at the sanctuary, everybody is, well, a lot of people are dead first. But everyone is just traumatized by what happened, because they did not think that Anderson would find them that soon, because Emmeline kind of, oh yeah, another thing that Emmeline did, she kind of gave their position away by like creating a hurricane at the sanctuary. So that was not a good plan. Warner decides that he wants to go and save Juliet, because he learns from James that they went back to Oceania to do the transfer of the brain, because Emmeline is in Oceania. James and Warner have a small interaction about being brothers, and it's cute, but I would have liked it to be more real. Not real, but like, Warner wasn't there for James. It's normal. I would have been there either, but like, take 5 minutes to just acknowledge that he's your brother, talk about it a little bit, and then ask question. But like, he went up straight to the question, and I was like, take your time. Well, not take your time, because he didn't have time, but anyways. Warner decides he wants to go right now, and Kenji forces him to eat something, because, well, he did not eat for like 4 days, and Kenji made a really good point of him like just dying from hunger, trying to save Juliet, and that would not be a great plan, and he was like, you're right. And so they eat at Warner's tent. And a girl comes in, and she, well, because Warner has a lot of fans, groupies, I don't remember why. I think just because he's so handsome. She comes in and she's like, oh, I want to give Warner something to eat because I heard he was hungry. And she was like the 5th person to do that in the day. And so Kenji's like, okay, fine, come in, like, give him the food and leave. But then Warner, with his superpower, realizes that she's trying to kill him. And so that causes the girl to die, obviously. And so you don't know why she would do that. And so Castle explains that she thought that all of the kids from the Supreme Commanders were evil. I thought that it was interesting, not necessary to the story to continue, I guess, because all of the other Supreme kids were kidnapped, apart from Warner. So that's why he was the only one left in the sanctuary, and somehow the girl thought she was in danger of dying from him. I don't know why. So they decide to leave right away, and Nazira just shows up and she's like, I'm coming. And Kenji's like, you just got shot in the chest by a bullet wound. Like, stay down, stay put. Because Kenji was shot like in the shoulder, so it wasn't that bad. And Nazira's just like, no, I'm coming anyways. So they all three go to steal a plane and go to Oceania to save Juliet and the other Supreme kids. When they arrive, they decide to separate themselves to find Juliet easier, because Warner and Kenji are going to find Juliet and Nazira is going to find the other kids. When they find Juliet, there is Anderson, Max, Juliet's father, and Juliet in the same room. Max and Anderson get into a huge fight about Juliet because Anderson is not being very careful about what he does with her. So because he ordered her to cut her finger for loyalty. I don't know why, but she passed out. And Max was furious, obviously, because it was like, you can't just do stuff like that because you don't know how her body will react. And if her body gets weaker, she can't have Emmeline's brain inside of her. And Anderson just like, it's fine. It's fine. Warner and Kenji arrive in the room, and Warner just straight off kills Max, chops his head right off. And it's not pretty. Oh, just before that, Max shoots Anderson in the throat or in the chest. And then he realizes that he cannot heal properly because he decided to put multiple powers inside his body, which is not something that you should scientifically do. And Max tries to tell him that, and he's just like, I don't care, whatever. And I'm like, well, die. And he does die because his healing powers are not working. So he bleeds out to death, which is nice. You don't see it though, like it's very subtle, but he dies. But before he dies, Anderson orders Juliet to kill the two strangers in the room, and she's like, okay, fine. And she starts throwing things, I don't know why. She tries to fight them hand by hand, and she realizes that she can't. So she just starts throwing stuff. I don't know why. Well, because Warner can absorb her powers, so even if she would throw him huge punches, he would just absorb them. So she would be like, what's happening? Why my powers aren't working? And so her bright idea was to just throw him stuff. She tries to throw them chairs, tables, anything that big. Like, it was that big, and I was like, calm down. Nazira finds Kenji and she tells him to like leave with her because she has problems with the Supreme Kids, and Warner is like, I'm staying and I'm going to convince her to not kill me, apparently. And Kenji's just like, nice seeing you, like farewell, you're gonna die, and he leaves. So Warner and Juliet starts fighting, and he decides to go into another room to I don't know, get away from all the furniture. And they get into a dark room, and with the power of love, Warner brings back Juliet. And it was the greatest scene in all of the book. And I was waiting for that scene, not in the way I thought it would happen, but I was waiting for the scene where she would just wake up and realize that, well, that she's living a fake life for the past few days. And I know it sounds so cheesy to say like, with the power of love, he brings her back, but it is basically what he does. And it's very a steamy, sexy scene. But I think honestly that with the power of how they feel for each other when they are together and when they kiss and when they do stuff, she remembered who he was. And while remembering who he was, she remembered everything because he unlocked all of the other memories that were pushed away from her brain. I don't know how you call that. And so the scene is, oh, it's so cute. And she's just like, do we know each other? And he's like, yes. And she's like, what's your name? And he's like, you know my name, like, just say it. And it's beautiful. Except for like the last part where she like bleeds out of her mouth because I don't know why. She like realizes everything and her memories come back and she bleeds out of her mouth and she looks up and she says, oh, Aaron, it's you. But like I was so confused as to why she was bleeding out of her mouth. Anyways, that happened. They finally find Emmeline and someone's there. It was Max. Wait, was it Max? Well, then who did Warner kill? Oh, was it? It was Nazira's father. I'm so sorry. It was Nazira's father. And then they find Emmeline and Max is there, Juliet's father. And he's like, don't you remember me? And she's like, yeah, I do. And then, I don't know how it happens because it was confusing, but the glass where Emmeline was stuck breaks. I don't know if it was from Emmeline or from Juliet's power. I don't know which one. But the glass breaks and Emmeline just like straight up kills Max. Straight up. And then Emmeline obviously is very weak, so she dies into Juliet's arms, which was her long-lasting wish, so that was really cute. And then they just go back to the sanctuary and live a happy life. Well, not at the first. We get the epilogue from Warner's point of view, which was very satisfying. Thank you very much for that, because the way he talks about Juliet is just so romantic and satisfying that it means the world. And so back at the sanctuary, Juliet is like adored by civilians because they all think that she is the only one who saved the entire world, which is... It's accurate, but like she did not do it alone because Warner was there, Kenji was there, Nazira was there, like a lot of people were there. So like she's not the only person who should have all the reward, but she has. So anyways, and apparently people love her and they want to meet her, so they have like a huge security when they arrive at the sanctuary. It's really funny, but anyways, the epilogue is when Juliet and Warner are trying to find Juliet a wedding dress for their wedding because apparently Kenji destroyed their gowns the day before, and I don't know how that happened, and it's just hilarious because obviously Kenji would just do something like that. Let's be real. And so Juliet is at a store trying to find a dress and she doesn't really find anything that she wants. And so they have this really, really cute conversation about it doesn't really matter, but you still look beautiful, whatever you wear, blah, blah, blah. But I still want a dress and so on and so on. The only thing very disappointing, and I will say it, I'm quite angry at the fact that we did not get a wedding scene. What the hell? It would have been like a chapter more of the epilogue. It was not that huge a deal, and I don't know why she didn't put it in because it would have been so beautiful and it would have been so perfect and I would have loved to see it. And I really, really thought in the last book when he proposed to her that we would get a wedding scene at the end of the 6th book, and we did not. I'm very frustrated because I was so expecting a wedding scene and I was excited about it because I would be like the beautiful end to this horrible history of lies and pain and death and other lies. It would have been so perfect, and it doesn't end like that. It ends with Juliet having a puppy in her arms, and I mean, like, it's cute, but it's not a marriage. So that was it for my review, guys. I hope it wasn't too long, but I'm guessing it's going to be so long. But I really want to know your thoughts about the book. Tell me in the comments what you thought about it. Do you want a wedding scene? I want a wedding scene, and I don't know why she didn't put it in. I'm annoyed. I will see you guys next time with a new video. Goodbye.